In a wastewater treatment plant's process, primary treatment or primary settling constitutes the second stage. So what is the principle of primary settling and which equipment is used? This is what we are going to look at now. The purpose of primary settling is to remove suspended solids that are not removed during pre-treatment because they are too small. This stage is also called primary treatment. Settling operations leave these particles undistributed in water and let them settle until they reach the bottom of the settling tank under the effect of their own weight. Indeed, a solid particle left undistributed in water is subjected to a downward force, its weight, and an upward force called the buoyancy. If the density of the particle is higher than the water's density, it settles. But if the density of the particle is lower than that of water, it floats. This is why not all particles can be settled. The smaller and less dense ones escape the settling process. In this case, in order to encourage the smallest particles to settle, a coagulation flocculation stage can be used before the settling stage. By adding ferric chloride or aluminium sulfate, this stage enables pollution to be agglomerated. Particles that settle will go to the bottom of the settling unit, called a settling tank, where they constitute sludge called primary sludge. It is called sludge because this is waste produced during a wastewater treatment process, and primary because this sludge results from primary settling. Water that has undergone settling is then recovered at the surface. To successfully complete primary settling, static or dynamic settling tanks are used. Generally, in wastewater treatment, static type settling tanks are found. There are two types of static settling tanks: simple settling tanks, lamella settling tanks. Let us start with the simple settling tanks. Water is continually directed to a tank, the shape of which is either rectangular or circular. Particles in water passing through this tank will settle to the bottom of it at their own velocity and form sludge. The lamella settling tank is similar to the static tank, except that it has plates that are laid out in parallel inside the tank. These plates are at a 45-degree angle, enabling it to treat the same flow rate in a tighter space than in a settling static tank. What you need to remember. The purpose of primary settling is to remove suspended solids that are not removed during pre-treatment because they are too small. Settling consists in leaving particles undisturbed in water until they settle to the bottom of the tank. Two main types of static settling tanks exist: simple and lamella tanks.